We have some new developments here. Um, I'm making this as time permits, so I can't go into too much detail, but this is a Brent crude oil chart. You can support me by Cashapp by buying the system through Cashapp. The information is in the information section of the YouTube video. You could also send me cash to help me, and I will put more time into making reports for this. But the system is $500, what you see on chart. MetaTrader trading system, no refunds. And what you could see is we have developments. We had this hit basically somewhat of a tweezer top pattern right here with these two candlesticks, which caused a crash and developed some resistance, which coincided with a previous resistance area for Brent crude oil at about 111.91, 111 to 112 resistance area. So we're talking about this zone up in here. Okay, so that is a resistance area, but you could see that it broke down. It kind of crashed up here because of developments. It fell through support right here. So this is a key area right here, which this support broke down, and then it started moving in consolidation and coiling and then striking back up after finding support in this general area right here at about 97. So now this is scalloping up above this right here, which was formerly this support area, which got crushed from this consolidation pattern back here. This is an art called technical analysis that I've studied. Okay, so they're numerical patterns, they're patterns that happen in nature based on Fibonacci theory and analysis. And you could see them on charts through numbers. So if I have data, I'm really good at looking at charts. And so I wrote this system which has support and resistance blocks right here. Now you can see the blocks started climbing up right here. Down at the bottom is signal indicator, which tells you to buy or sell. You have a buy signal back in here, and that buy signal set off this chain of events. And back in here, you had the sell signs right here, and then you had resistance blocks setting up, and then it got support back in here, which you could see it built a pattern back in here. You could see it firming up. Okay, it formed a base in here, and you could see the probe candle tails right here probe below the support area and try to break it down, but it couldn't. So it formed some new support in here, but that support area is part of this consolidation area, which has a lot of areas back here that make sense numerically, so to speak, and are forming a pattern, support and resistance areas. So now you have a buy signal back in here again after it tried to break down and break lower, but this area is holding up. So let's draw a little rectangle in here. This area is holding up as a base right there. So that's the base right there as formed, and now it's like a coil bouncing after this consolidation area, which is a sideways channel kind of, and then it started creeping up higher. There was no fight to shove this lower, and it got above this support area. Okay, this is a support line right there, that green line right there at about 97. And then it kind of just started building and building, and then it started having a little bit trouble because this previous support area, this became resistance, and now it's scalloped higher, kind of like imagine a rock climber just kind of etching up, and then it kind of slipped and fell back, sent back a probe down in here. Okay, and it tightened up, and it said, okay, we got some support here, another little probe right there. Okay, those are probes. When you see tails above or below the body of a candle, those are probes. They're trying to see how far down it could go or up. So back here you have two probes right there. Tweezer top breaks down, starts falling, and then a base forms here. It shoots up back higher, crawls through that resistance slash support. So why do I say resistance slash support? Because when a resistance area or support area crashes through or goes above the support, if the pattern goes above the support, above the resistance, I mean, if this pattern goes above that resistance area right there, if it's a key area, it becomes a support area. Okay, so this right here, this one right here at 102.55, that line going across, that is a key area which lines up with consolidation area. So it makes it more of an important price level because of this previous consolidation area, sideways area, channel going sideways, right? That rectangular area. So the longer that area is, the stronger, the more meaningful it is. It has, key areas of top and bottom, and bounces around, then it boom, it breaks out. This level is more important now because of that fight that happened between the bulls and the bears. Okay, that's like key technical analysis terms when you're looking at the numbers and you say forget about all the emotional stuff, all the stuff that's going out in the news, and just read the numbers. That's what's happening. You see the price patterns reacting to different areas that are key levels. Okay, you see probes going, okay, how far can we go? It doesn't look good. So the pattern failed at those price levels. Okay, there's some other stuff going on that is on the emotional scale, with people manipulating the market, knowing about these key levels, and they try to prop up the markets or try to crash the markets, so to speak. And that's what you see, those probes. Those are stalling points based on emotional trading. Okay, they tried to push it higher, and then crash, bang, falls, hits support, bounces, tries to get above that key level now, which was that level right here is just resistance, the 111.91, which is basically 111 to 102 area, or probably more accurately just 102 to I would say this 102 area to 114 area. Okay, so above 100 Brent crude oil, we're talking above 100 Brent crude oil, right? Okay, we have a very strong resistance area up here. The market, the traders, stuff like that, they want the oil to go higher. Iran wants the price of oil to go higher, right? So they do emotional things to press at key levels. They have people giving them reports and stuff and say, we need to get it above here. Okay, we could see what's going on in the patterns. They have traders too looking at this stuff, professional traders and stuff. Okay, so anyway, you see the blocks of support, you see it etching up. It's just etching up like a rock climber. The rock climber slips right here. It almost got up and like we could get to this next level. And then something happened. It fell, slipped right there. And then, but it was a probe lower, all right? So there were some forces trying to collapse it and get back down below here at this 97 level. The probe said, no, we have support. And then there's another little probe right there, and something similar to like a hammer, which is a bullish pattern, candlestick pattern. We're looking at an hourly chart, by the way, for Brent crude oil. Okay, we're using MetaTrader as a source. Okay, you can buy my system $500 and look at, you get this indicator right here, indicators to buy and indications to sell. Okay, and then the rules of the system are within it, and then you have the support and resistance blocks, right? Information about buying it in the information section of the video that supports me. All right, so now it scallops up. Okay, I do other stuff for making money, but if you want me to do this, you have to send me some money. I don't have time for it. I'm doing some other stuff. This is just a key report because of what happened right here. I had to make a video because I saw it break above. Brent crude now going to the bullish zone at 102, breaks above 102.55, this key support area. That's a very key area right there. It's scalloped right there, okay? Okay, you get it? And now the rock climber is right here. There's resistance blocks in my system right there. If it gets above that, it's going to form support. It's going to support. It's already probably the indicator probably in the next block, probably going to be support right here. So basically, we now have support at the 102.55 area. What will probably happen is, okay, this looks like right here, kind of like a head in a head and shoulders pattern. You look up the head and shoulders pattern. This looks like an awkward head and shoulders pattern. Breakout right here. You have the left shoulder, and then you have the head. Okay, it's an awkward head and shoulder. And now you have the top, basically the top area of the head and shoulders to be broken out, and then you have this awkward right shoulder right here. And now what you're going to see is it's going to try to stab higher. What happens after that, I don't know. It's going to encounter this resistance right here. Will it break above the 105.84 area with escalations going on politically? That is a possibility. Will it go up to here and then crash? That is a possibility. Will it go up to here and then break above? That's also a possibility. That's all I have for you. That's the technical analysis on Brent crude oil. Now, looking over at the other oil, a lot of people don't know the difference between Brent crude and WTC. They have similar patterns. The analysis is the same. The analysis is the same. So, there you have it. Have a good one. This is Van X on X. You can also follow me in my options trading system on YouTube, where you can get the information on buying a system from MetaTrader.